the morning.
Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful day to dive deep into the absolute madness that is currently unfolding in Genoa City. Grab your favorite mug, pour yourself something strong, and let's get right into the thick of it. I cannot believe they actually did that. I am literally shaking right now, typing this up late at night because my mind is completely blown and I just need to get this out of my system. Jack is gone. Jack Abbott has just vanished into thin air, and my heart cannot take the stress of this storyline anymore. I mean, we all knew that Patty Williams was a ticking time bomb, and we knew that Dr. Markham was a total creep, but to actually have Jack make the ultimate sacrifice and get taken hostage? It is too much. I am screaming at my screen. I just can't process the fact that Jack willingly threw himself into the line of fire. He has been through enough, okay? He has been through enough. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up because my brain is going a million miles a minute. Okay, back to the point. We need to talk about how we even arrived at this absolute catastrophe. Jack and Kyle had this whole elaborate, incredibly risky plan to break Diane out of Dr. Markham's shady lockdown compound. And Jack, being the stubborn, protective, overly heroic patriarch that he is, refused to let Kyle take the risk. He insisted on going in alone, which, let's be honest, is peak Jack Abbott. He always has to play the martyr. But did he really think Patty Williams wouldn't be lurking in the shadows? She literally eavesdropped on their entire plan on a street corner. I mean, how do you not notice Patty standing right there? It's so frustrating to watch them make these rookie mistakes when the stakes are literally life and death. So Kyle and Tracy are back at the Abbott mansion, totally freaking out because Jack isn't answering his phone. The silence is deafening. And then they find it. That mysterious message. The sign that Jack didn't just get caught by accident or make a simple mistake. He made a conscious, reckless, devastating decision to surrender himself to Patty and Markham to ensure Diane's safety. He traded his life for hers. I am sorry, but am I the only one sobbing over this? Jack literally walked into the lion's den knowing exactly how dangerous Patty is, just so Diane could get away. It is so romantic, but also so incredibly stupid. I kind of want to shake him. Why does he always have to be the one to suffer? And while Jack is playing the ultimate sacrificial lamb, Diane is over there doing what Diane does best, manipulating her way out of a corner. I know some people are loving this whole Diane the Survivor arc, but personally, I am exhausted by it. Still, you have to hand it to her. She totally played Dr. Markham like a fiddle. She flirted with him, lowered his guard, and even though he caught her trying to drug his drink with those sleeping pills, she somehow managed to use the chaos to her advantage and escape. Diane gets rescued, Diane gets to walk free, and Jack is the one who ends up paying the ultimate price and disappearing. It just doesn't seem fair, you know? Like, why does Diane always manage to slither out of the consequences while Jack takes the bullet? Because while Diane is slipping out of Markham's grasp, Jack is getting ambushed and trapped. The message Kyle and Tracy found heavily implies that Jack was attacked, maybe even severely injured, and now he is trapped in a dangerous location where he can't even communicate with the outside world. Remember when Victor tried this exact same plot with Jack and Patty years ago? When he locked Jack on that abandoned yacht and let Patty drug him? Yeah, didn't work then either. But the trauma of it all? I've been watching since 2015. And I have seen Jack go through some incredibly dark times, but this is the worst thing they've done to him in a long time. The PTSD he must be feeling right now, trapped without a lifeline, knowing Patty has complete control over his fate. It makes my skin crawl, just thinking about it. Can we talk about Kyle and Tracy for a second? The sheer panic radiating from them is palpable. Kyle is absolutely losing his mind. He just got his mother back after mourning her for a decade because she faked her own death, which, by the way, I will never forgive her for. And now his father is missing. Kyle's entire world is crumbling all over again. And Tracy, poor, sweet Tracy. She is the rock of the Abbott family, the ultimate peacemaker. But even she is terrified right now. She knows exactly what Patty is capable of. When Kyle and Tracy pieced together that Jack sacrificed himself and that Patty and Markham were behind his disappearance, the look of sheer horror on their faces was award-worthy. Give them all the Emmys right now. But here is the part that actually made me gasp out loud. Kyle and Tracy realizing they are completely in over their heads and needing to team up with unexpected allies to find Jack. And who do they turn to? Phyllis Summers. I mean, come on. This is absolute soap opera gold. Phyllis hates Diane with the fire of 1,000 suns. She literally wants to see Diane destroyed and wiped off the face of the earth. But Phyllis also loves Jack. Deep down, despite all their toxic history and messy breakups, Phyllis cares about Jack Abbott more than almost anyone else. And if anyone knows how to track down a psycho, play dirty, and get results, it is Phyllis freaking Summers. I am so here for this alliance. Think about it. Phyllis is currently dealing with her own massive nightmare involving Matt Clark, Victor Newman, and losing her company. She is backed into a corner, feeling completely humiliated and isolated from her own kids, Daniel and Summer. Teaming up with Kyle and Tracy to save Jack gives her a purpose. It gives her a way to channel all that chaotic rage and manipulative energy into something productive. Plus, the irony of Phyllis having to help rescue the man who just sacrificed himself to save her mortal enemy, Diane, it is delicious. She is going to complain the entire time. She is going to make snide remarks about Diane, but she is going to get the job done. I just know it. And while all this life or death drama is happening, Jabot is practically on fire. The corporate fallout of Jack Abbott just vanishing into thin air is massive. Jabot is heating up, the board is probably panicking, and Kyle is stretched so incredibly thin, trying to keep the family legacy afloat while secretly hunting for his father. It is a brilliant way to tie the personal stakes to the corporate stakes. I kind of love that they are showing the real-world consequences of Jack's disappearance. He isn't just a guy in trouble. He is the CEO of a major cosmetics empire. The instability at Jabot is going to attract sharks like Victor Newman, who is probably just waiting in the wings to launch a hostile takeover the second he smells blood in the water. Let's circle back to Patty for a minute because her psychology is just fascinating and utterly terrifying. She genuinely believes that Jack belongs to her. She has completely rewritten reality in her head. She thinks Jack bringing her to the Abbott mansion earlier was a sign of true love, completely oblivious to the fact that he was just playing her to get to Diane. And now that she has him trapped, she is in full control. She is dangerous because she doesn't think she's doing anything wrong. She thinks she is saving Jack from Diane's toxic grip. It is twisted, and I am dreading watching Jack have to navigate her delusions while he is injured and cut off from the world. But wait, I have to contradict myself for a second. Maybe I shouldn't be so worried about Jack. Because even though he is trapped and injured, Jack is smart. He is a survivor. If he willingly surrendered himself to Patty and Markham, maybe he has a counterplan that Kyle and Tracy just haven't figured out yet. Yes, Jack. Do not just be a victim. I love it when Jack gets calculating and ruthless. He knows Patty's weaknesses. He knows how to play her emotions. If he can use her own delusions against her, he might just be able to outsmart her from the inside. But it is a massive gamble. One wrong move, and Patty could snap completely and do something irreversible. And what about Diane? She is free, but at what cost? When she finds out that Jack surrendered himself to Patty and Markham to ensure her safety, the guilt is going to eat her alive. Or at least, it should eat her alive. Knowing Diane, she might just make it all about herself and play the victim. Am I being too harsh? Probably. But I just can't stand her self-righteous attitude. Still, this is going to fundamentally change their dynamic forever. Jack literally gave up his freedom, his safety, and his company for her. How do you ever repay a debt like that? This is either going to bond them together forever in trauma, or the massive guilt is going to tear their marriage apart piece by piece. The dynamic of Kyle, Tracy, and Phyllis working together is going to be the absolute highlight of the next few weeks. I can already picture the scene so vividly. Phyllis barking orders and hacking into security cameras, Kyle getting defensive about his dad, and Tracy trying to keep the peace while secretly plotting like a mastermind. They are going to have to dig deep into Patty's past, maybe even track down that creepy doctor, Markham, to get answers. Because Markham knows more than he is letting on. If Diane manipulated him to escape, he is going to be furious, and he might just point them in Patty's direction if it serves his own twisted interests. So what is coming next? I predict that Phyllis is going to be the one who finds the critical clue. She knows Victor's playbook, she knows Patty's history, and she is relentless. She is going to connect the dots that the police would miss. But I am dreading the moment they actually find where Jack is being held. Because Patty is not going to give Jack up without a massive fight. We might be looking at a huge, explosive standoff. And honestly, I am here for it. Give me all the high-stakes soap opera drama. Just please, please do not kill off Jack Abbott. The show would not survive without him. Okay, I need to take a breath. My fingers are literally cramping from typing so fast. This whole storyline just gave me so much anxiety, but in the best way possible. This is why we watch, right? For these moments that make us scream at our TVs and run to the forums to vent our feelings. Jack's ultimate sacrifice, Diane's sneaky escape, Patty's terrifying insanity, and the ultimate Phyllis team-up. It is a masterpiece of chaos. I know some people are complaining that it's too repetitive with the whole kidnapping trope, but personally, I think the emotional stakes make it completely different this time. Let me know if you guys agree or if I am just losing my mind over here.